People don't just disappear. That's what we tell ourselves. We believe there's always a reason, an accident, a bad decision, someone running away. But sometimes, people vanish in ways that make no sense at all. No signs of struggle, no goodbye, no trace. Tonight, you're going to hear true stories of real people who disappeared without explanation. Not legends, not myths. These cases happened in modern America and Canada, with witnesses, evidence, and unanswered questions that still haunt investigators. And the most terrifying part? Some of these people were last seen in places where disappearing should have been impossible. This is Mr. Horror Doom, and these are true disappearance stories that were never solved. In January of 2006, a 27-year-old medical student named Brian Schaefer went out for a night of celebration in Columbus, Ohio. Brian had just finished his exams. He met friends at a popular bar called Ugly Tuna Saloona, located near the Ohio State University campus. Security cameras captured Brian entering the bar shortly before midnight. The footage is clear. Brian walks in. He talks with friends. He laughs. What happens next is where the nightmare begins. The bar closed at 2 a.m. Security cameras recorded everyone leaving. Men, women, groups, individuals. But Brian Schaefer was never seen leaving. Investigators checked every angle. There was no rear exit, no emergency door triggered, no camera malfunction. Brian simply vanished inside a crowded bar filled with people, covered by surveillance. His phone never rang again. His bank account was never touched. There were no signs of depression, no plans to disappear, and no evidence of foul play. Police questioned friends, staff, and witnesses. Nothing. Days turned into weeks, weeks into years. Brian's family searched endlessly, hoping for answers. But even today, nearly 2 decades later, Brian Schaefer has never been found. No body, no remains, no explanation. It's as if he walked into the bar and stepped out of existence. And the question still remains, how does someone disappear from a place designed to watch everyone? In the early hours of May 14, 2008, a 19-year-old college student named Brandon Swanson was driving home after visiting friends in western Minnesota. It was late, the roads were empty, and Brandon was tired. Sometime after midnight, his car slid off the road and landed in a ditch. The car wasn't badly damaged. Brandon wasn't injured, but he was completely lost. At 5:54 a.m., Brandon called his parents. He told them he was stuck and needed help. Calmly, he described what he could see around him: gravel roads, open fields, darkness stretching in every direction. His parents got in their car and began driving, staying on the phone with their son. For the next 47 minutes, Brandon walked through the night while talking to them. He said he could see lights in the distance. He believed he was heading toward a nearby town. But something wasn't right. Every time Brandon said he saw his parents' headlights, they saw nothing. At one point, Brandon mentioned stepping over fences. Then he said he could hear running water. His voice began to sound tired, confused, disoriented. Suddenly, Brandon shouted, "Oh shit!" The phone call cut off instantly. His parents called back. No answer. Again, nothing. Police were notified immediately. Search teams flooded the area by morning. They found Brandon's car, but it wasn't where he thought it was. It was nearly 25 miles away from the location he had described. Search dogs tracked Brandon's scent to the edge of a river, and then it stopped. No footprints beyond that point, no signs of a struggle, no body. Despite extensive searches, helicopters, divers, and volunteers, Brandon Swanson was never found. His phone was later discovered near the road but showed no signs of damage. To this day, no one knows what caused Brandon's final shout. Did he fall? Was he attacked? Did he step into something he couldn't escape? Or did something else happen in the darkness that night? All that remains is a recorded phone call and a moment of fear frozen in time. A young man walking through the night, and then silence. In northern British Columbia, Canada, there is a remote stretch of road that locals avoid whenever possible. It runs for nearly 450 miles between the towns of Prince George and Prince Rupert. To most drivers, it looks like any other highway, but to families of the missing, it has a different name. They call it the Highway of Tears. Since the early 1970s, more than 40 people, mostly young women, have disappeared along this road. Some were hitchhiking, some were walking short distances home, some were last seen standing on the shoulder of the highway, waiting for a ride that never arrived. In many cases, there were witnesses. People saw them get into vehicles, but no one remembers the license plates, no one remembers the drivers. And for decades, the disappearances continued. Police investigations uncovered disturbing patterns. The victims were often traveling alone. Public transportation along the highway was almost non-existent, and long stretches of road passed through dense forest where a person could vanish in seconds. A few bodies were eventually recovered, many were not. Families waited years, decades for answers that never came. In some cases, investigators believed there may have been multiple offenders operating along the highway: truck drivers, local predators, or someone who knew the area well enough to make people disappear without leaving evidence. Despite task forces, national attention, and government inquiries, the majority of cases remain unsolved. No single suspect, no single explanation. Even today, signs along the highway warn travelers not to hitchhike. Bus services have been added to reduce risk, but the fear never left. People who drive the Highway of Tears describe an overwhelming sense of isolation. Endless trees, no cell service, miles between towns, and the unsettling feeling that someone could disappear here and no one would ever know. At night, the highway feels endless, and every mile carries the memory of those who never made it home. The road is still open, cars still pass through, but beneath the tires and asphalt lies a history of silence, loss, and unanswered questions. A highway that earned its name because too many people vanished along it and were never seen again. In July of 2015, a family went camping near Timber Creek Campground in Lemhi County, Idaho. It was supposed to be a quiet trip into nature, fresh air, fishing, time away from the world. Among them was a 2-year-old boy named Dior Coons Jr. According to his parents, Dior was playing near the campsite while adults were preparing to go fishing nearby. They say he was only out of sight for a moment, less than 5 minutes. When they looked back, he was gone. At first, they thought he had wandered off. They searched the nearby trees. They called his name. Nothing. Panic set in quickly. Authorities were called, and within hours, the area was flooded with search teams, dogs, helicopters, volunteers. The terrain was rough, thick forest, rocky ground, steep drops. But even in difficult conditions, search teams usually find something: a shoe, footprints, clothing. In Dior's case, they found nothing. Search dogs failed to pick up a scent. No footprints led away from the campsite. No signs suggested he had been taken by an animal. Days passed, then weeks, then years. the case began to raise disturbing questions. Investigators noticed inconsistencies in witness statements. Suspicion fell on the adults present at the campsite. But without physical evidence, no charges were filed. To this day, Dior Coons Jr. has never been found. No remains, no trace. The wilderness kept its secret. Disappearances like these force us to face a terrifying truth. Sometimes there is no monster in the dark, no dramatic ending, no clear answer, just silence. A phone call that cuts off, a security camera that shows nothing, a road that leads nowhere, and people who simply vanish. If these stories unsettled you, that's because they're real, and somewhere out there, someone still knows what happened. This was Mr. Horror Doom. True disappearance stories, real people, real fear. If you want more real-life horror, subscribe, because the next story might be closer than you think.